Well, I need to say that I don't know how this week is going to go as far as recording videos. It is currently Memorial Day as I am recording at least the first part of this video. I don't know when the continuation is going to be made because, like I said, I've had a lot going on. I've been putting together a self-assembly cabinet that my mom bought in the mail for her, and there's just been, well, I didn't mention that in a video, but did actually mention that in a post to my Facebook page. And I'll tell you all that there's just kind of been some other little work coming along as far as just what I've been doing. I told you all about what's going on at my school cafeteria job. Don't know how that is going to be for the next week and a half, so I don't know what I'll be doing this weekend, even when I get the weekend off, but I'll work tomorrow, Tuesday, and work through Friday, and then work Monday and Tuesday of next week, even though, like how it is in the school system, I mean, even if school's not in session, employees don't really work the weekend according to the policy and calendar, so that's just kind of how that is having to work for us. So I'm just going to get on here to kind of do something I've never done on video before and do a little demonstration as to how I carve out the eyes for these St. Nicholas figures. I say that, you see I drew two lines on the face. There's a place here where you carve, make a little V-cut into one line like this, and make the other little V-cut into the other line here. I'm going to do the same little step as well on this other one. One little thing that I started learning to do since last Christmas was to use these eye puncher tools. I have them around here somewhere, but don't really have time to look for them for the video, but I'd say that they have been a little bit of a thing to fool with since I started using them, but as we all kind of learn as we go with carving, we sort of find out that when it comes to carving a Santa Claus or any type of person, the eyes are the most difficult part to carve of any face. And so I'd say for this, we kind of draw a couple of little lines on here for which we make the little nose. I will demonstrate that a little bit, and can't remember what all I did the last time I demonstrated how to carve one of these in a video, but do probably just need to mention little things or two as far as just how we do this stuff. And I'd say, I always just kind of thought the eyes were probably a little bit extra work and might not have even really included that part. I don't even remember whether I did any of the face the last time or not, the last time I recorded one of these, but I'd say if nothing else, I probably just did the eyes away from the camera. But I've decided since we have a moment, I'm going to go ahead and try to demonstrate that. You put little circles around the top right above the nose, and then make it so we see little things that come along here. Make it so we got, first of all, the eyelids at the top. Then there's another cut you make underneath to make the eye itself, and that's kind of, I'd say, where the little bit of extra work is. You kind of have to, as Rick Butts would say, practice on a separate piece of wood until you can get it right. And so it's just kind of a thing where we're going to try to put in some extra here, make it so it's going to come out so much a little bit better, I say, and kind of make it so we're going to see how the face shall turn out now. And I'd say it's going to be the work that it comes down to as far as just what it's going to make and what it's going to be. I say that a little work shall make its way to us. And I tell y'all, I'm capable of using the same words over and over again way too much, and gets a little kind of complicated with what I say, how I say it, overdoing my words. But I say that the work is coming its own precious way, and see how we do with things. Sometimes we can't make it much better than we can, so I got the eyes out like this. And as we always did at first, we kind of, you made like a little tiny mark with the knife just to kind of put in the little pupils, I say, and then finally this is how they come out. I might just say that there's going to be a little work we'll do here, kind of make the little nose, I say, work it in itself. And so I say that this little time and energy we place in things, I say this is how we come along on the face. I mean, it might even be that I'll have to do one face per video here, because there's just little lines we also have to go about. And here we kind of come along to the place where we make the little mustache that is separated from the beard here, and come up with how this is going to be. With that little line in there, we make another little line to come out along the curve, make it so we're going to see the little mustache come along up off the beard, and see how Santa Claus is going to do, making his way here. And then finally kind of put a little more extra work to come along in this, and see how this is going to be. And I say that this little project shall make itself way to us, see us how we're going to make it be. And so I say just another little circle down here to make the little mouth right below the mustache, and then cut along that, make that fine little line, make it so it's going to make the little lower lip come out the way it does. I'll share with you all a little more information about how I'm going to go a little more, trying to trim along the beard here, make the beard so it's going to be a little more easily carved, and come to what it's going to make of itself when we all get done with it. So it's all going to shine itself in, make us so a little brightness in the world shall come our way, and see us how we do, kind of got to trim along, make the little mustache a little rounder at the bottom of it to try to trim our way about it and work our way through it, I say. And as for this, you know, we got the Santa coming, and as for little other steps we'll take, we got this much done. And as for how the instructions in the book tell us to do it, make one little last cut inside the lip to make the mouth. I wanted to tell you all about how that for all the years I've made Santas like these. I've had ones I carved out of oak, ones I carved out of maple when I first started. This was when I was first getting introduced to the pattern, first getting introduced to wood carving, and still just exploring my woods, all the ones I could use with it. And I'd say I probably didn't always pick out the best woods. Some of them were not the best carving woods, but I was young, I was adventurous, I just wanted to experiment with it, and so I just went ahead, made it like I could. And with some of them, it just so happened that there were some where all we really had were just closed eyelids and two little eyebrows up there. That was kind of the best I did with some of them. That was a face on it that some people liked, and I might have mentioned to you before the lady who donated me the cedar blocks, Sarah Spraggins, the one for whom I carved the little Santa like this one out of cedar, and wasn't able to get all the detail in precisely the way it needed to be because the cedar she donated was not good for that and wouldn't work. But when she saw the ones I kind of made out of the oak and the maple and the apple and the sycamore years ago, where they just kind of had the eyes a certain way, I think it was mainly the oak and maple ones that kind of had the closed eyes and just the eyebrows showing. But she said, never stop making this face because this face is so cute. I'd say that one of these days I might get around to making some more like that sometime. I mean, you know, if I get the chance, but I'd say that there's like little work we're doing right now with what we've got, and that was kind of like my early years of carving, my early experiences with it. Sometimes, you know, years of experience, years of being seasoned kind of makes your work a little bit better. And how we do it, it just goes to show that it's just a long ways of coming. Because I'll tell you all that since we've kind of got some video time here, I might talk to you a little while longer while I go about this other one here. But maybe I'd say that the work is good, the work does us all well, and I say that I'm just getting to where I'm enjoying my time, enjoying my work, and all I get to do within it. So I say that little ways we go about things. I didn't think I'd be getting on here to record this today, but I will tell you all that there were just a lot of frustrations with that self-assembly cabinet I've been working on, so kind of decided it was a good time just to get on here and try to do a little bit of this, just to kind of get the best out of our time and the best out of our world. I am hoping maybe even with all I have to deal with in school food service these next week and a half with all my makeup days on the calendar, that I might be able to just get on here sometimes and do a little bit more extra work while I'm busy. I kind of got the eyes started on this one as well. Kind of got little cuts to make out the pupils. They're probably not going to be as good on this one. Could be because I talk while I do it. It could just be a little bit extra work to come along, make it so we see what we're doing in our lives and how we come about this work, to make it so we're kind of working our ways about it, make it so that Santa Claus shall be a little sign of Saint Nick to us. Oh, I tell you all, oh, I think about the old bishop, the old parish priest, and oh, the old stories I read about him. You know, I've just kind of seen a lot in videos lately and watched a lot, learned a lot. Oh, and about all the lessons we learn in life about things. This man sure taught us a lot about giving, and I'd say if you even read that Walter Wangerin book, Early Saints of God, the Lutheran author Walter Wangerin, he'll kind of tell you some little stories you probably never knew or never heard, and how it all just kind of makes its way in and makes you see a little light for what you know and what you learn. It seems like it's kind of getting to be a little bit more trouble this time around to make the pupils, but I will tell you all that the eyes are the hardest part of this project. They're probably the hardest part of any person or any face you make. So I think we're going to come back to this one, kind of do a little rounding off of the nose here. And that's something for which I use a detail knife, because it's much smaller than a roughing knife. It's able to take in the detail a whole lot better. And there comes a place on here where you sort of round off the nose and round off the cheeks and kind of make it so the face can come out a little better, like I just did here. And I'd say to make a little better use of our video time, I'll go ahead, round this nose off, round these cheeks off, and I say there's a lot of things I noticed. I wanted to mention that as for Womack's wood carving, they made a comment on my video about a cypress knee. I've just appreciated how lately I've had the followers of, you know, M&M woodworking and Womack's wood carving, and the comments they've made. Would kind of appreciate it if many more of you all would subscribe to my page and kind of add your own comments, tell me your own thoughts, tell me things you'd probably like to see me make, because that'll just be what's going to help a lot in the long run and make better use of this business and this company, I say. Because as you see, I just drew out another mustache here. We'll kind of make a little carve along that to try to put it in. And so I'll tell you all that these little works are coming their way. It kind of did me a little bit good that because today is a day off I get from work for Memorial Day, that I was able to stay up a little bit later last night on a little page, a little group live for a young lady who has an art gallery in Ashland, Kentucky, and she sells rocks. She puts scriptures with her rocks and shares them that way, and I'm just really supportive of that. I'm glad she does it. I tell you, I don't really get to attend those lives very much because, you know, I'm just always kind of having to go to bed at night so I can go to work the next morning and deal with all I have to put up with there. But I'd say for the summertime, maybe there might be some nights I might be able to stay on a little late, keep up with some more of her lives. I mean, I don't know what she does every night, but last night she kind of shared some stories and some good testimonies, and I tell you, there's people in this world, I say, we just learn a lot from them. They teach us all a lot of good and wonderful things. I'd say that it's always good to come on and hear those stories. I say we've got a little place to do here to make the little Santa come out like it's supposed to be. And finally, we're making the mouth on this one, make it so it's going to come its way out, and see what we got. A beauty of a sculpture, a beauty of a statue, and make it so we're just kind of seeing the way we see, seeing the light of day, and then make it so we all just don't know what's going on, and then finally work our way up to it, and finally put the last little line of work into the piece. Finally, we got this much of the face done. It's kind of got a lot to it, and I'm thankful to do it all, and grateful enough that we were able to at least get at least 20 minutes of a video in here with doing that little last step. So if you ever need a reference as far as the last videos to carving the St. Niklaas's were, as far as the parts that were skipped around in the previous video, it would be good for you to come on here and check this video out and see where the continuation of the work is. And it turned out we were able to put enough time and work into one video today that we won't need a second part to this. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.